take my ass back home. I know I need to take my ass. Got the tattoo on my. Yeah. Yeah.
Hi, so I'm just gonna go with test 2 of this and just see how it goes. So I was speaking about 6 months ago and what life was like then, and what happened to where things just started falling apart. And even though there were myriad of issues that were going on before then,
5 prior authorizations. 1 worry daughter. 12 weeks of FMLA. Occupational and physical therapy billed separately. 1 medical diagnosis.
When my dad got diagnosed with CIDP, it was kind of strange just because I've never really seen him sick before.
When Dad got sick, it didn't really throw me off very much. I kind of just rolled with it. There's not much you can do about it, so kind of just had to adapt.
It was just kind of weird seeing him go from being healthy to being, sick all the time and not really being able to do everything he used to.
Definitely kind of threw everyone off because we had just kind of gotten used to Dad being blind, and then that happened.
My name is Matthew. I met Dominique in New Orleans on Bourbon Street in 2017. I told her I wasn't interested in talking to her, and she just smiled, and her smile
Dominique's pretty weird, just in general. It's just her personality. A good weird, though. She's unique. She is fun. She is kind. She's kind of willing to go for a lot of things, I guess. In terms of any things she's interested in, she has an interest in it. She's willing to go kind of far with it.
The first time I noticed like a huge change in her personality, we were actually gonna go to, Beatty, Nevada, or is it Betty? I was gonna pick her up, and she used to riding, but she came down in athletic wear. And I was like, what are you doing? Like, she was like, oh, riding a motorcycle. So she went back upstairs and stayed up there for 30 minutes and came back down, and she still was wearing the same thing. And I was like, I asked her straight up, like, are you high? There's something a little different about you. Let's do this ride another time. Like, she knows to cover all her skin, but with her athletic wear, she had her ankles out and she had on sports shoes, tennis shoes. So that's what stuck out. She usually is on track, but she wasn't. She was confused. You reached out to me on a Friday, I think?
Yeah.
Yeah, that Thursday was when we were supposed to go for that ride. Ride Thursday and Friday. But I think Mr. Davis got sick. He couldn't see. He lost his eyesight.
my husband went blind, and I can't describe it as anything else but that. He had already lost vision in his right eye, and one morning he woke up and his left eye was just...
So she stayed back and you hit me up. You said something was going on with Dominique.
She texted me just suddenly, middle of the day, no prior input on this whatsoever. She had not planned this with me at all. She just said, hey, I'm coming over. Let's go on a scavenger hunt. The scavenger hunt was not normal. In fact, that was the first time I knew something was wrong, was her asking to do a scavenger hunt in the first place. There was very little conversation during this walk, but randomly, Dominique was just like, hey, so you know coding, right? And I'm like, yeah, I'm a computer science student, so I'm learning. She brought up that she had been seeing like repeated numbers recently. I think it was like 7-1 something. When we were walking, Dominique saw this mail truck, and she was like, hey, I think that mail truck is following us. And I didn't say anything about it, but my immediate thought was, it's a mail truck, it needs to go through the whole neighborhood. So that's probably why we've seen it a lot. She was talking about alchemy a lot. I don't know if she had like just watched Full Metal Alchemist before this happened, but she kept talking about alchemy like it was Full Metal Alchemist, which was really confusing, but I kind of just, I don't know. This was already a weird situation, so I kind of just kept walking. So she was saying that we were Freemasons, and that truck was a government surveillance van that was watching us to make sure that we basically didn't tell anyone that we were Freemasons, and that John had gotten us in good with the US government. So basically, when everything went down, we would be fine. And she had brought me into the backyard after we got home and just sat me down. And she was like, hey, you have your phone on you? I was like, no, which I did. I just lied about it because I kind of knew where it was going. So that kind of kept repeating for a solid 45 minutes until we went inside. I was in my room during class, by the way, and it sounded like she was like doing like Gregorian chants in the next room. And I could hear it through the walls, and it was very loud. It was very loud. I just kind of gave up on class around that time.